This is a tutorial on the What Did I Like iPhone and iPod app. I created this app because I enjoy good food and I want to keep track of restaurants that I like and food that I ate there. I often find myself in the situation where I can't remember what I had at a restaurant before or if I liked it or not. I also use the app to keep track of what meals and recipes I cook at home. I'm often stumped for what page and what cookbook a particular meal came from, so I write that information in the app. I'll make a quick introduction of the app to show you how to get started. I'll first show you what the app looks like when you first install it. Then later I'll show you what the app looks like after you've been using it for a while. When you first install the app, you're going to see the help screen, and that's what you see in front of you. So app will launch like this. And if you click on the button at the top, you can watch the video that I'm making right now. If you click on the bottom button, the support button, and I'll try that for you and I'll show you. Um, it'll enable you to send an email to get support. For example, if you find a bug, if you have a feature that you want to have added to the app, let us know. We'd prefer if you click on the top button to attach the log file. That will give us some diagnostic information if you're having any bugs. Doesn't contain any personal information or identifying information about you. You can also just click send email, and that will not send the log file. I won't do that right now. Okay, so after you've maybe used the help and watched the YouTube video, you can probably what we're going to want to do next is click on the comments tab. There's 4 tabs. I'm going to come back to the filter tab and the settings tab later. The comments tab is where most of the action happens in the app. So let's click over on the comments tab. This is a freshly installed app. I'm running on the simulator right now, but aside from that, everything looks the same. It's just when you download the app, you'll see this places view on the comments tab, and there's nothing in it. I will also show you in a little bit what it looks like after you've been using the app for a while and you've got a bunch of places, items, and comments. So the idea of the app is to keep track of places that you've went, items that you liked at those places, and comments on those items. So let's go ahead and create a place. So we click on plus in the upper right corner. That will always add an item for you, or add a place, an item, a comment, or other objects here. So we click on the plus. So now we've got information we can enter about the place. So we can enter a place name. You have to enter the place name. So let's call it. And typically you'll be maybe entering information about restaurants. So I'm going to call it my restaurant. I'm just using the keyboard here. You'll be using the keyboard. I'm using my physical keyboard on the simulator. You'll use the actual keyboard on the iPod or on the iPhone. I'm going to click done. So now I've entered the place name. You're going to typically want to enter a location or an address wherever that restaurant or that place is located. You don't have, we could just say add right now, but you're also going to typically want to give a place category. So I'm going to click on this button above this place category here. It says tap to give place category. And these are the default place categories that come with the app. You can add more by clicking on this plus button. I won't go into that right now. So let's say it's a restaurant. I called it my restaurant. Let's click on restaurant. And that's, so now on place category it says this is a restaurant. Again, you're gonna want to give it a location or an address. I'm going to bypass that for now. I'm going to click add, and so now under places we have one place. So now that we have a place, we can click on the restaurant, click on that place. I'm going to click there, click in the middle of it, and I now have another blank screen. So this is supposed to be the list of items within the restaurant, and I don't have any items yet because I just added the place. So I'm going to click the plus to add an item within the place. So now I can add an item. So this would typically be a menu item. So let's call it my menu item. So I've had this at the restaurant. Or what could be happening is that if someone calls you up and says, "Oh, I just went to this fantastic place, this great food store, this great restaurant, whatever the place is." If someone else is giving a comment, let's say over the phone, you probably make this slider say them. If it's you that went to the restaurant or went to this place, then just leave it on me. Now I'm going to click add. So now we've got one item within my restaurant. Now to make a comment within that item, because maybe you have that particular meal at the restaurant multiple times, you can add multiple comments. So again, so now we're two layers nested within. We're within the place. We're within the item, and I can click on plus to add a comment. Now this screen looks quite different. So here you're able to take a picture. Let's say you're having a meal. You can take a picture of the meal. You can add a smiley rating. Let's say I really liked the meal. I could I can make the biggest smile, or I didn't like the meal, I can put the frown all the way down. So let's say I liked it, but just not 100%. I liked it pretty good, but just not 100%. And it was me making the comment. Again, if it was someone else giving this comment over the phone, I'd slide this to them. I'm just going to leave it on me. And let's say something like, I really like the sauce on this dish. I could also take a photo. Because I'm using the simulator right now, it's not going to let me take a photo. I can take an image from my library. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let you experiment with that. So I can click Add. So now I've got a comment within the menu item. And if I want to come back anywhere in the app, if I want to take a look at the details, there will be a little right arrow here. And I can click on that arrow. And I'm going to see the details within that place, within that menu item, within that comment. Again, we can click on that button there. It'll give us the details of the menu item. Click on this button here. It'll give us the details within the place. So that's the basic tour of the app. I want to switch over now to showing you information with a more populated app, an app that has been being used for a while. So we'll take a pause on this for a moment. So here's an example of the app with more places in it, a collection of places that I've been entering in as I've been developing the app. And I want to show you a few more things. First thing I want to show you is an example of a place with some comments from actually eating a meal there. So I'm going to take a look at Duluth Grill. So here's some items that I had and or one of my friends had at the Duluth Grill. So a duck burger, and so that's got a comment, a pretty long piece of text, and a picture. And there's the picture. If you want to see the picture bigger, you just do a pinch gesture, a zoom gesture on the image. I can't show you that on the simulator. You do that on the iPod Touch, or the iPhone. If you want to send a text message with most of the contents, not the picture, to someone else, click on this button. I can't do that on the simulator. You can try that. So other comments here. My friend Brett had the hero, and he didn't like that. It just wasn't very good, and we rejected, and he got something else. I think, in fact, he got the turkey burger. So that was the turkey burger, and he liked that better. Well, I think he liked that better. I guess I didn't put his specific issue on there. They didn't have any beer, so I put that on there. I didn't remember that about the restaurant. I had the chicken quesadilla on that meal too. One thing I found was that the bison stuffed Anaheim peppers were hot, but they weren't filling. They were more like an appetizer, although I think they were listed under an entree for the restaurant. So that's just an example of a more comprehensive collection of items and comments for a particular place. I also want to show you some of the variability that we're intending for the places within this. And one example of that is that you could use it for stores, for example, liquor stores. This is just a generic liquor store in which I'm kind of amassing a few beverages that I might buy at liquor stores. And this one was, in fact, some plum wine that my fiance bought, and I didn't really particularly like it. She liked it. In fact, I didn't write that down here. I should add that to this comment. But this is the simulator version. I don't want to really do that here. Not that I can't. It's just that I've copied this over from my phone. And another example of a particular the Pacific Ocean market is an Asian market near us. And this is another example of variations in places. So it's not just about restaurants. You can have markets, you can have liquor stores, and this was a particular kind of sausage that I didn't like so much, but my fiance liked it, so I gave it that kind of a rating. And that was just a picture of the label. So the next time I go back into that market, I can remember what the particular brand was and decide whether or not I want to get that or explore some kind of different kind of place. And I also wanted to show you my own restaurant, as it were. I keep track of information about what I've made at my own home. So Chris's restaurant. So these are meals that I prepared at home, and pizza was actually the most recent thing that I cooked. And the last pizza I made was the best crust I've ever made. It was pretty good pizza. Um, this was the picture. I didn't get a picture of the full pizza because I was so hungry. I just had to eat it. Okay, so that's enough on the comments tab. Let's progress to talking about. Oh, there is one more thing I wanted to mention. In the places, the items, the comments screen, if you want to delete a place, an item, or a comment, what you do is you do a right swipe on the item or the place or the item or the comment. So I'm going to, I'm going to do a slide to the right. So you'll swipe your finger to the right, and it'll show up as delete. The app will give you a warning. It won't just delete the item. So it won't just delete the place, the item, or the comment. So I'm going to click on that, and it gives you a warning. There's quite a bit of information beneath this. It says, really remove the place Chris's Restaurant. This is going to remove 15 items, 14 comments, 13 images. Now, if you remove images and you've taken them with the phone in the app, that's going to completely remove them from the phone, from the device. You won't have any copies of the image anymore. So be careful with removing places. If you remove individual comments, you're not removing that much information, but you'll still probably lose the image. You'll lose the image if the image was taken by the app using the camera. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. So and you can do that within the places, within the items, and the comments. You can delete by doing a right swipe. Okay, so let's take a look at the filter tab. The filter tab enables you to restrict the collection of information shown within the comments tab. And the way I've got it set up right now is I've got a restriction, a filter set up for only showing restaurants. So I've got the category filter set as restaurant, and I've got Denver selected in the text here. So this is going to look for restaurants that are within Denver. This is not doing some kind of GPS search. It's not doing anything off the phone. It's just looking at the comments within the phone or the iPod. So I'm going to click. What you want to do is set the filter to a filter instead of all. So we're going to have a filtered set of information. And then we click back on the comments tab. And you can see we've just got a restricted set of information. It's just those restaurants that I have on the app for Denver. And one of those is the Crawling Crab. That was one we went to recently, and we had some crawfish, some blue crab, and some steamed rice. And so I'm going to turn off that filter. I don't want that on right now. Both me and them refers to whether or not we want comments. We want to display comments in the comments tab, display places in the comments tab that were made by you or were made by someone else. Okay, let's go to the settings tab here. So the settings tab, the first text field is your username, and I would typically put my email address in there, but you can put whatever. This is just used only when you're going to send information as a text message to someone else. This will be included with that text message. The image quality slider dictates the size of the images, the size of the JPEG images used within the comments. So if you set it to high, that's going to use the most space possible, the maximum space for images on your phone. If you don't have much space on your phone, you're running low on space on your phone, set this to low, or set this to a lower setting. I usually leave it at a midpoint because that's acceptable image quality, JPEG image quality. Right now this is sorting, so the next collection of buttons here is this is sorting by name, by place name within the comments tab. So again, this is sorting within the places within the comments tab. If I want to sort by modification date instead, I'm going to click date, go back to the comments tab, and now when I go to the bottom, that's going to indicate the place that I've modified the most recently, the place, the item, or the comment that I've modified most recently. And these are these are in modification order, modification date order. So Pacific Ocean Market was a comment that a place that I've modified most recently, Lark Burger next, Five Spice, Liquor Store, Pizza Lupo, etc. If I want to do reverse date, then I go back to the comments tab, and then the ordering is reversed. The most recently modified places, items, or comments float to the top. So that covers it nearly for the settings tab. I just want to mention the reset data button. You're probably never going to want to use this. I included it just for completeness. If we click on that, we get this big long warning message saying that this is going to discard all the information within the app on your phone. So all your place, item, comment information, including all the images. So be really careful with this. You probably don't want to use this. And that concludes my tutorial. So please let us know if you find bugs or have ideas about features you'd like to see in a later release, and thanks for using our app.